Matad Skeptics as asking an interesting question. Saying, Susanna, what were your thoughts on Islam when you were in your Antifa phase? And if they did change, what helped you make that change? Well, what were my thoughts on Islam? So if you want um a really full explanation of this, I would suggest you go listen to the Secular Jihadist episode I did, which is actually the first time I ever talked to Armin, funnily enough. Um, where I describe a lot of this in more detail, but how would I summarize it? Basically, it was a lot of kind of the whitewashed marketing that you get in like Western countries, but more than anything, it was just this sense that it's like that's you don't touch that. That's not even your place to touch that because you don't come from that background. You're not that race, right? You don't come from over there, you know. And that's just not yours to critique. Because you can't possibly understand because that's not from your lived experience, right? So that's kind of like a general attitude or barrier around me criticizing it or learning more about it. Even though I was like fully aware of a lot of the same problems that I don't like about Christianity being present in Islam. What were some things that helped you make that change? Discovering Apostate Prophet. And because of Apostate Prophet, I discovered Armin Navabi and Atheist Republic. And because of Armin and Atheist Republic, I discovered Secular Jihadists. And also Yasmin Mohammed. Mm-hmm. So, Yasmin in her book and interviews, and she often talks about this story of something that happened to her in her childhood. Basically, she was subjected to abuse in her home as a child, and when it was finally brought forward in a court, the judge basically said that you have to go back home to your family who's abusing you because that's what they do in your culture, because she's Egyptian Palestinian living in Canada. She's a Canadian national. And that really highlights and perfectly crystallized for me the huge problems in the insidious nature of moral and cultural relativism. And something about that story, it was just like, like a twig snapping, like everything just clicked for me. And so I will always credit Yasmin Mohammed for being a major part of me criticizing Islam and learning more about it, and also no longer falling victim, for lack of a better word.
Even though she unfollowed you on Twitter.
Yeah, last night.
Last night, Yasmin Mohammed unfollowed Susanna on Twitter after us coming out and saying it was wrong for her to leak. But still, Susanna still credits Yasmin for
activist I am today. Period.
Activist today.
Period.
Even. Yeah,
it's still true, and it will always be true. And there's still a lot about her that I still really admire.
Yes, same. Even though she unfollowed me a long time when I had Twitter, as soon as I criticized her about maybe like giving in too much to the Hindutva crowd, and she unfollowed me. And so, yeah, but now I don't even have Twitter, so that's fine.
Remember, I had Twitter.
Darwinian atheists saying Iran never existed. It was the Persian Empire, like how India never existed. They were actually, this is not true. Darwinian atheists. The original name is Iran. The Persia was, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody, Persia is a name that the Romans and the Greeks gave to Iran. Iran was the original name. I mean, at least it was, according to the Sassanids, and even earlier than that, apparently. So that is the original name. They didn't refer to themselves as the Persian Empire. Other people referred to them as Persian Empire. And Reza Shah, the reason why Reza Shah changed the name of the country from Persia to Iran is because he wanted to use a name that was originally used to refer to that land rather than the name that the foreigners had gave to them. So he officially went and changed that. And also subscribe to our newsletter, because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy. Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like, I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.